Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, we'll be giving a makeover to this entrance place, that is the entrance to our home. We live in a rented home and we'll be giving this a rental friendly makeover. So let's get started with the first DIY. So I've always been fascinated with these blue windows. Whenever we go to travel, whenever I see a blue window, I always make sure I take photos of those. So I kind of want to create that. So I've taken this thermocol and now I will be sticking these cardboard pieces on it such that it looks like a window. All four sides I'll be first pasting 4 pieces of cardboard, and then I will make some thinner pieces of cardboard and stick it in the center, one in the center horizontally and 2 more cardboard pieces vertically. In the next step, I'll be adding some Fevicol into water and creating this mixture. Now I've cut out some tissue paper. I'll be sticking them onto the frame that we created using the Fevicol and water mixture slowly one by one. This is a bit of a time consuming process, but trust me, it will be worth it. You keep on adding till you cover the entire frame. I had forgotten to cut the center part of the frame, basically the thermocol in between, so I'm cutting it now. You have to cut all 4 thermocols from in between, and then once you're done cutting, you have to sand it as well, otherwise it won't be having that smooth finish. Okay, now I'll continue back with applying the tissue paper onto the frame using the Fevicol mixture. You have to cover it completely, as I said before. Once you cover it completely, you have to let it dry. So the frame that I created, it took overnight for it to dry completely. Next we'll be coloring the frame. So for that I took these blue colors, that is teal blue and cerulean blue. I mixed them together and now these are acrylic paints basically. So now I will be painting the frame using a sponge. Slowly cover the frame entirely, make sure there is no white spaces. Once I finished coloring it, I also wanted to add some highlights with the lighter blue. I used my fingers for this and blended it in, so it looks kind of nice after I added these highlights. Again, you have to let it dry, and this is how it will look once it's dry. I want to kind of make like a tray below the frame, the window frame, so that I can keep some flowers and plants over there. So for that I took a cardboard box, cut it into half and joined it together so that it satisfies the length of the frame. But if you have a box which is as long as the bottom of the frame, window frame, then you can use that as well. So I had to do it this way and then stick it together. So I stuck it using tape. Once that is done, I took a mount board and then I covered it with this wooden color wallpaper that I already had. I got it from Amazon. I'll link it in the description. If you do not have this wallpaper, you can even consider coloring this with any sheet. This is totally optional, but this really adds to the look and feel of it. You can even paint it if you want, the cardboard sheet, or you can have a black color tray as well. Anything that suits you. Once the mount board sheets are ready, covered with the wooden color wallpaper, I'll be sticking it onto the tray that we created using double-sided tape. So once you finish sticking, you have to stick it on all 3 sides, the front, left and the right. So it will basically end up looking like a really nice wooden tray. So the next element that we'll be making is a sunset kind of a background. For that I've taken some yellow, orange, and I started creating a gradient kind of a background. So these are acrylic paints. Now I started painting with yellow first, and gradually I blended it in with the orange. I really love looking at sunsets, so I wanted it to be like looking through the window and looking at a sunset basically through the window. Once all your elements are ready, you can paste the background that we created behind the window, and this tray that we created will be stuck onto the below portion of the frame that we created. I wanted to add a bit of realistic feel to the window, so I added these tree branches and leaves kind of a feel using black acrylic paint. It definitely did give a realistic vibe to it. For DIY number 2, I'll be upcycling these old fruit crates. I'll start by sanding them using sandpaper, and once I finish sanding them, I'll be painting it with acrylic color. I'll be using a mixture of golden and yellow color acrylic paint. Once I am done painting it completely, I'll be covering it with varnish to protect it. So whatever I'm making here, I will be protecting it with varnish. This is how it looks. Now for DIY number 3, I painted an old trunk with blue color. I don't have the before picture of it, but this is how it looks. For DIY number 4, we got these foam wallpaper sheets which are easy to remove and stuck it on the wall near the door. And it gives this kind of a brick effect. This is how it looks. It's time to assemble it all. The frame that we created, I will be pasting it on the wall where we stuck the foam wallpaper. I'll be using double-sided tape. I use 3M double-sided tape. Post that, I will be filling the tray with these plastic plants that I got from Meesho. I will link it in the description. I added one flower and some creepers hanging as well. They're all plastic. Now time to decorate this part of the entry. I will be using this wall hanging that I made before. It is a DIY. I will link it in the description. I hung it in the center. I added these green creepers, it's plastic creepers. I got this from Meesho. I'll be adding this in the left and as well as the right and top as well. So I think it looks really nice and it's adding a good touch. Next, I'll be keeping these 4 pillows that I got from DMart. It's more like a waiting area, so I thought pillows would be appropriate. Next, I decorated the door with these hangings that I made using eggshells. This is also a DIY. And even this DIY nameplate that I made on a MDF board. I added some plants in the entryway where there are railings. This is how it looks. To decorate the trunk area, I added 2 pillows on the trunk. The covers are from Meesho. I will link that as well in the description. So I added these 2 pillows over there. Next, I kept the crate that we painted here, and I added this kind of a bamboo mat that I got from a local market and kept a plant on top of it and added a creeper on top. Time for the final look. Do let me know what you think about this makeover in the comment section. Stay tuned for the next video.